court, and you were wondering why we haven't got a bigger crowd today, but this case is going on for 11 whole days, and so I'm sparing my supporters from having to be here every day, because it's a bit much really, isn't it, to stand outside this place for 11 days on the trot.
Yeah.
So we've had a big demonstration this week on Tuesday, so that's enough for this week.
Yeah.
And I'm just here keeping a sort of vigil, so that, you know, I'm just a presence here, and people, if they know that I'm here every day, midday, 12 to 2,
yeah,
they can just come along like you've come along and have a chat with me.
Yeah.
Take a little video.
Have you got anything planned for Hampstead? Any protests up there, or?
Well, what we're doing, the plan is to wait and see what happens in the family court. Once it's finished, once the judge has given her judgment and we know what's going to happen,
Yeah.
then is the time when we can be a bit more public.
Right.
And depending on what she's going to say about the future of the children, you know, whether they remain in care or whether they can go back to Russia with their grandparents, or, you know, be handed back to their mum's side of the family.
Right.
Because the grandparents and mum, you know, they'd obviously be together in this and look after the children together. Mum, unfortunately, is under an arrest warrant. At least
a European arrest warrant, yeah?
Well, that's what we were told. You see, we've been told a lot of confusing things.
Yeah.
We
and
were told,
Sabine
first
as well.
of all, Sabine, yes.
Yeah.
Sabine as well. We were told it's a section 2 to begin with, which is, you know, it's serious but not too bad. But now we're told it's a section 4. Then yesterday I was told it wasn't a section 4. So literally we can't seem to get two accounts of the reality of the situation that match up with each other.
And
so,
the father's
I'm now told it's not an European arrest warrant.
Right.
With the implication that they're quite safe, and also why don't they come back and everything will be done in a civilised manner? They can just go and give a police statement to the police and, you know,
get bail.
Yeah, well.
So is it true that the father's got more rights to the children now than he had before?
Well, it's the same. It's been carrying on right the way through, the same rights. He has double the contact time with the children than the mother has ever had.
Right.
Which we don't think is quite fair. And, you know,
but that's increased since
the judge would sort of. This concerns a case which is in the family court, so I actually am not allowed to give too much detail about it. But it is very public on the internet in UK and all over the world, in fact. And it concerns two children who have a British dad and a Russian mum. And they attend a primary school in North London. And last summer they told their mum that their British dad, had been abusing them for many years of their childhood. And that also some teachers at their school were involved as well. So of course it's quite a shocking story. And so when the mum, and she had a boyfriend with her at the time, the boyfriend actually was the one who spotted that there was something funny in the children's behaviour, and he recognised the signs of child abuse because he had it in his own family. The mother had known there was something the children were hiding from her, but they hadn't been able to speak about it because they were told, like all paedophiles tell their victims, if you say one word, terrible things going to happen. You know, we'll kill you. We'll kill your pet dog or kill your mum or whatever it is to threaten the child. So children are terrified of speaking out about what's happening to them. But the boyfriend recognised it and got the facts out of them. So they went to the police beginning of the school term, and the police's reaction was to take them into care, into local authority care. And they've been ever since they first reported to the police in local authority care in Barnet. And the case is still going through the family court. The family court to decide whether the children come out of care and go back with one or other of their parents, or what we would like to suggest is that they go to Russia to their Russian grandparents, who are very lovely people. Yeah.
Is it in that family court just there?
There's a family division in this court. Part of this court is for family matters, yes. But all sorts of things go on. This is the High Court of the country, so the most serious cases usually end up in here.
From personal experience of mine,
yes,
the family court is corrupt.
Oh God.
What's your advice for anyone in similar situation? Should they go to the police and report it? Should they go to the social services?
I have to say, from my experience of doing this sort of public advocacy work, voluntary, not charging anybody, for 3 years, 4 years, I would advise people not to go to the police initially. I would advise people to get together with other local parents who have been in a similar situation and get support from each other in the community.
Yes.
You know, it's very important that.
And what
And
about,
I would also advise people to do a lot of research on the internet about other cases, your own case, you know, the people actually in your case who you feel were the least fair towards you and who you suspect of having made up evidence against you. Get the names of all those officials, all those police people, and just sit on it.
But you know,
keep
it's
it
a
quiet
case
for a
against
while.
the court at the moment. So
Because what has to happen is that we need an alternative to these family courts and these family divisions of councils.
Separatism?
Yeah, we need a people's courts and people's.
I don't see any other.
So, but a lot of people have suffered similar to you. Every story is different.
yeah,
He wasn't a family lawyer himself, but he was going to. He knew one or two good firms, and he was going to get a lawyer from one of the good family firms that he knows.
right,
And then he was also going to find somebody in a criminal. He was actually a corporate lawyer, so he's sort of not
the
because
right
they've got
department.
No, but on the other hand, he's a very, very good guy.
Yeah.
Completely one of us, and on the same page, and knows.
So he's got a few contacts.
Got
and,
some contacts. But
oh,
for some
brilliant. Thanks very
reason,
much.
she didn't really want him to be involved.
Right.
So I don't know what's going on there.
And what about all these videos going up over the net with the children's faces? I mean, whoops, a daisy.
To be quite honest, I regret that somewhat.
Yeah,
I think it's regrettable. I think because the mother herself, she was on the point of producing her digest of the videos
yeah,
with the faces blurred.
right, okay.
Right, and she hadn't quite finished the tape, the video footage.
Yeah.
And then it suddenly all erupted. You know.
Well, I
so
mean,
suddenly,
how did it all suddenly erupt then? I mean, who had the videos to put them online with
a lot of people over the months since last September have
Yeah.
been shown the evidence,
Right, okay.
including members of Russia Today,
Right,
TV,
okay.
and some Russian people. Oh, thank you too. Thank you. And then we, the Mackenzie Friends Association, have had the materials since early November.
Yeah,
I tried to persuade my colleagues that it was best to sit on this until the family case had been concluded,
yeah,
and to choose very carefully the moment when to release this on the world, as it
Yeah.
were. If it was good to release it at all. And anyway, we shouldn't rush to release it.
yeah.
I certainly didn't release anything from my side, but
Yeah.
I have one or two colleagues who are a little bit hot-headed, and they kept saying all the time, well, the more we sort of sit on this stuff and talk and discuss and nothing happens,
Yeah,
the more children are being abused in the Hampstead school.
yeah.
You know, and the children are suffering now.
Yeah, it's
So
shocking,
sort of
isn't it?
feeling of,
Because the thing is, like, when you see the children's faces, I mean, it brings it home a lot more than hearing it from an adult, or if they
Yeah.
were blurred and their voices were blurred, it wouldn't hit home as much as seeing two little kids with their faces
Yeah.
looking so innocent.
I know.
I mean, it's actually done a good job
well,
in one sense,
you
but
know,
then,
there's sort of other dimensions to this whole story.
yeah,
I mean, I think there's an angelic element to the children,
yeah,
you know, and I think there's also an angelic element to the mum.
yeah,
And it's almost as though they know this is the only way to help all the children,
well, exactly, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and in some way they're a strong little band of people. As I
Yeah.
say, they're quite angelic. And the children are quite brave.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
And they could have stayed, when the children started telling the story to their mum, they could all have stayed out in Morocco and not come back and just
Which
left
was
the
one
whole
plan,
scene, or
yeah.
gone back to Russia or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, not been in
the
UK.
mum wanted to come back though,
She
didn't
wanted
she?
to come back.
Yeah,
She felt it was public duty.
right, to save the other kids. And,
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But then she wanted to handle it her way, and so it's regrettable that it's all sort of exploded now. But at the same time, it could be the only way to do it. I don't know.
I'll let you drink your coffee now.